Hey everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. In this week's guitar lesson, we're going to take a look at a Bo Diddley style rhythm and lead using the call and response technique, which I have covered in other lessons, but we'll go into detail on this one. This is really a fun and challenging thing to learn because you're in a trio scenario. So in the jam track, there's only drums and bass. And so all of the guitar work is done by you. So you're kind of covering both rhythm and lead parts in this. And that's thus the call and response. So anyway, we're going to break this down over two videos. So in this video, we're going to learn just the rhythm part, just that Bo Diddley shuffle part. I'll break it down and get all the strumming techniques so you'll be able to do that. And that'll work, by the way, on an acoustic or an electric guitar. So either one that you have will work for this lesson. If you want to learn, or if you want to download rather, the jam track, as well as learn the second part, so all those little lead parts, you're going to want to go to ActiveMelody.com and look for EP086. That's the lesson number for this lesson. And you'll be able to download the tablature, download the jam track, as well as the extra video content. So let's go ahead and take a look at part one. Alright, so let's jump into this. So the first thing I want to point out real quick is the tone settings I have. Now listen to some of the old chess recordings of Bo Diddley and try to get his nice, bright, punchy, rhythmic sound. And so I'm playing on a Telecaster with the bridge, with a pickup selector switch on the bridge pickup. So I'm whatever electric guitar, if you're playing electric, I'd say go for the bridge pickup. You get the most, the brightest tone when you're up here. And then I have my tone and volume all the way up at 10. So that's the guitar settings. By the way, you can do this on an acoustic. You don't even need an electric. But if you want to try and get as close to this tone, I'll call out all the settings I have. So the other thing I'm using is a Blues Driver BD2 pedal, which is made by Boss. And I have the overdrive at about 25% or 30%, I would say, or the gain. It's called gain on the pedal. So that's what gives me this little bit of growl. You can see where the tone is breaking up a little bit. And it sounds nice when you're playing this style. It gives it a nice little extra punch. So that's the setting there. And the only other thing I have is a little bit of slapback delay. You can hear that, and I'm using a Memory Man for that. You can use any type of delay pedal just to get that kind of echo effect, and that's something you hear on a lot of vintage recordings. And so, like I said, you don't need any of those pedals, but that's what I'm using to get the sound. So, okay, now let's get into the chords. Let me explain the chords first, and then we'll get into all the strums and the nuance of the strum. So there's three chords in this. There's an E chord, which is the primary chord. We're in the key of E, by the way. So the first chord is an E. Then it switches to an A, and then back to the E. So let me call out those chords. So you have E, 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 A, E. E, 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 A, E. So that's what a lot of the verse is. It's just that, repeated over and over again. And there's some little licks thrown in there. So we'll get into the strumming, so bear with me. So there's that part. There's one other part where I come up here and play that part. And that is also an E, just played higher. And I'll show you how to fret that one when we get to it. So that's an E. Then it comes to a D. So that's your third chord. So you have an E, an A, and a D in this. And then you're back to the E. So those are the chords. It's an E, an A, and a D. Pretty basic chords. So what really gives this the sound is the strum. That Bo Diddley strum thing, and it's a lot of fun to do. It's really fun to do in a band too. So if you've got the jam track, you'll see what I mean when you start trying to play along with the bass and the drums. It really is very entertaining. So if you'll watch what my right hand is doing, now let's focus on the right hand. The right hand is just playing, or is just strumming down, up, over and over again. Just watch. So watch here. Notice it never breaks. It's just like this the whole time. So in one respect that makes it easy because all you're doing is just getting something going. It's almost like painting, or it's a very fluid motion, and it's very consistent. It's not changing. It's just over and over and over again. What gives it the different rhythmic qualities is what your left hand does. Now, this time, watch my left hand as I play. Now, I'm just playing an E chord here, but what you're going to see is when I squeeze to play the chord and when I release. Keeping my fingers in place over the fretted notes, but not fretting them. So just watch my left hand. See how I'm squeezing? When I squeeze, I'm getting I'm turning it on, and when I'm releasing, I'm turning it off. So you're turning the rhythm on and off like that. So it's a combination of those two things that give you that rhythm control. All right, so watch this. I'm going to call out when I play the E chord. Watch this. Down, up, down. So what I'm doing, when I say down, that's a downstroke. When I say up, it's an upstroke. So watch. Down, up, down. Do it again. Down, up, down. So in the beginning, just try and get an E chord going. Hear how those 1, 2, 3, that's when I'm squeezing it on. So it's down, up, down. Now we're going to play the two A's, and those are two downstrokes. Down, down. Or it's actually just one A. Actually, you only hit the A once. Down, and then that final down is back to the E chord. So the A comes in really quick. That's why I barred it with my middle finger, as opposed to trying to cram all three fingers into that fret. So if we play all of that slowly, we have down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. See what's going on there? Just over and over again. And if you're struggling at this point, just try and break it down to where you're having issues. Just try and get the strumming. Just like that. And if you can't do that, practice that until you can get an even sounding rhythm. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Notice it's not down, up, down, up, down, up. There's a little shuffle to it. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Like that. So there's your rhythm. Now the way that I play this is I played through that twice. So I went like this. 1. Here's a second. Then I came up here and went. So let's learn that. So what I'm doing there is I'm sliding up here. This is the 7th fret, and I'm barring all 6 strings on the 7th fret. Now I take my pinky for this. Most people use their ring finger. It's whatever's most comfortable. But I come to the 9th fret and I bar the first 4 strings. And so when I play this, I only play strings 5, 4, 3, and 2. Those middle strings. And that's an E chord. You're just playing it up higher in the neck. And so I just use this same shape for the E and the D. So the E is here. If you slide everything down 2 frets, you have a D. So it's just a different way to play a D. But what this allows you to do is keep that rhythm going and have control over it, as opposed to trying to do it down in first position. See, there's too much ringing there. Too many notes ringing out that you don't have control over. So let's go over the strumming that happens when we go between the E and the D. It's down, up, 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 down, down, down. So it's down, up, 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 down, down, down. Down, up, 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 down, down, down. And you can see when you just keep that right hand going, it actually creates a couple other little strummy, rhythmic notes in between what you're doing. It just naturally happens. So and that's how the song, you've heard the song Tequila, that's how that's played. It's done exactly the same way. It's almost that same rhythm that we're doing right here. So when you put those two pieces together, it makes a lot of sense. So now what I'd like to do is just play through both parts together, and I'll do it slowly so you have this as a reference and you can refer back to it. So here we go. So there you have it. There's the Bo Diddley Rhythm. If you haven't become a premium member at Active Melody, I recommend you at least check it out. It's very affordable, and I have hundreds of lessons like this where we go into a lot of detail, breaking them down note for note. And you'll have, if you are a premium member, you'll definitely want to check out part 2 and download the jam track, and you'll see what I mean by playing along with it. It's just really a lot of fun. So, all right, that's all we have in this part, and we'll see you in part 2.